Do you want 2025 to be the year that you finally break your phone doom scrolling addiction slash Netflix binge watching obsession? Then you are going to find this video super helpful. My name is Laura, and in today's video I'm going to be going through the process that I took in order to significantly reduce the amount of time that I was spending on my phone, but also generally how I've started to live a more mindful, calm, chilled, zen life, and hopefully this process will help you too. Before we get into it, this is a new YouTube channel. I've only posted 2 videos so far, so if you do find this video helpful, useful in some way, if you could please like, comment, subscribe, it would mean a lot to me. I would be super appreciative. In the last few years, I've noticed that I have been spending way too much time on my phone. My brain was just constantly wired. I couldn't relax. I realized that I wasn't really spending any of my free time doing things that were active. Most of my time was spent passively. And by passive, what I mean is basically me watching other people do stuff. So for example, watching Netflix, watching YouTube, watching people travel on social media. But I'm from the UK, and because everything in the UK is expensive and the weather is crap, basically everyone spends most of their free time doing these kind of passive activities. And obviously, whilst some of those activities in small amounts are good, I kind of always feel slightly worse after spending a lot of time on social media. So yeah, I think sometimes it's important to just completely disconnect. And I tried so many different things in the past to limit the amount of time that I was spending. I put limits on my app. I turned all the notifications off on my phone. I pretty much tried all of the main recommendations, and even though I did notice some improvements, it just really wasn't enough. I think the problem for me was that it wasn't necessarily that I was spending time on the phone, it was that I wasn't spending mindful time. And so I came up with a bit of a process, and I'm going to share that process with you today, and hopefully it's going to help you too, because I've noticed that after doing these things, not only have I reduced my screen time significantly, but also I generally feel a lot more mindful, calm and relaxed as well. So hopefully you can feel the same. So basically the first thing that I did was I made a list of all of the times throughout the day when I felt triggered to use my phone. So at this point, maybe you can just pause the video, grab a piece of paper and a pen and just make a little list of all of those moments throughout the day when you just feel like you keep grabbing your phone. I've made my list here, so I will share it with you. So some of the times in the day that I reach for my phone include idle or waiting time. So for example, I'm waiting for the train, I'm waiting to meet a friend and she didn't arrive yet, and you kind of just reach for your phone in those moments to kill the time. The second one that I've put down is boredom or downtime. So for example, I want to go to bed at 11, I finished all my tasks at 9:30, and I didn't make a specific plan of how I was going to spend that free time, and so instead of doing anything productive or useful or enjoyable, I just kind of reached for the phone instead. The third one is when you've finished a task but you're not quite ready to move on to the next task. So I do this a lot actually when I'm washing my hair, or I've washed my hair. Instead of actually just getting up and drying my hair, I end up scrolling on my phone instead. The fourth one is feeling like socially awkward or, I don't know, out of place, and you kind of just reach for your phone to look like you're doing something. So I don't know, like there's a conversation happening and you're not really like a part of it, and so you're just like, oh, I'll just check the weather app. But you don't want to make small talk with someone that you don't really know that well, so you just like check your phone instead. And then the fifth one that I've put is whenever your hands are free. So I find this one a lot when I'm watching like movies or TV shows, and I start like googling like actor or the director, or like reading about like trivia or goofs from the movie as well, or I end up just like eating food instead, but usually my phone at this point. Yeah, so they're all the ones that I've put down. If there's anything that you can think of that's missing from my list, you should let me know, because I'm gonna make a couple of videos here. I'm just gonna go through the first couple of points today, and then I'm gonna make a second video. So let me know, and then I can come back to that one in the next video as well. So now that we've identified all of the triggers throughout the day, we are gonna try and replace the habit with something that's more beneficial and more mindful. For me, I found that it was a lot better to be prepared. And there's a quote that I really like, and it's like, if you don't make a plan, then the day will failing to plan is planning to fail. Plan your day or the day will plan you. No. Anyway, it's important to make a plan. It's important to be prepared. So I've put down a list of alternative activities that you can do. Okay, so idle or waiting time. So my first idea is paper puzzles. So for example, Sudoku, crosswords, word searches. There's also medals as well. I'm not sure if you've done those before. It's like a little logical, like it's kind of like a Sudoku, but like it's like Cluedo meets Sudoku. So this medal book, it's really popular in the UK. I don't know about elsewhere. Basically, you read like some descriptions and stuff, and then you, based on like the information that you have available, you like fill out this like little grid thing, and then you have to say who did the murder, what they did the murder with, and where they did the murder. And it doesn't really take that long to do one. When people think about paper puzzles, they think a lot about, I don't know, like older people or like little kids and stuff, but actually like I find them so fun. Like when I was younger, my nana, she loved doing crosswords. And I just have like really nice memories of like sitting in the living room with my mom and my nana, and together we'd kind of like try and do this crosswords, and like the fire would be on and we'd just be like chilling on the sofa, and it was just like nice and peaceful and cozy, and I really like doing them. The second one that I put down is journaling. So this is something that I did a lot of as a teenager. I like grew up like reading the Princess Diaries books and Angus Thungus Perfect Snogging. So like my diaries were very theatrical, and I kind of stopped for a while, and then actually like recently in the last month or so I've started trying to like journal a bit more, and actually it's helped a lot. I think it doesn't need to be as like dramatic and cinematic as like the ones that you did when you were younger. I think there's just something really therapeutic and mindful about just putting pen to paper. Okay, so the other one I've put down is drawing or doodling. It's not something that I'm good at, so I don't really do it, but if you are good at drawing or doodling, you can just draw like a little picture. I actually have like a little tiny notebook that's really, really small. It can just fit into like a coat pocket or something, and you can just kind of like whip it out and do like a little sketch or something. Knitting or crochet or pom-pom making. So I don't know how you feel about bringing knitting or crochet onto the train. I have a memory actually from when I was in sixth form, and when I was younger I really liked making pom-poms. They're like really easy to make, I'm sure like maybe you know, but you basically just get like some cardboard and some like yarn, and then just like kind of loop in like a circle, and it's like really easy, just keeps your hands busy, and at the end you can just make a little cute pom-pom. But yeah, so some ones that don't necessarily involve like any equipment or tools. So I've put like mindful observing, so 5 things that I can see around me, and then 4 things that I can hear, and then 3 things that I can smell. I don't know, 3 things I can touch, 2 things I can smell, and 1 thing I can taste, or something like that. Gratitude lists or goal planning. So again, if you have like a little notebook and a pen, you can just make a little list of some things that you're grateful for. It doesn't have to be like big things, it can be repetitive as well, but just like little things. Oh, I'm grateful that today my coffee was nice. Oh, I'm grateful today like the sky was not grey, and whatever. The next one I've put is like count observations. So I do this sometimes when I go for a walk, and I've seen that there's a bit of a trend about it as well on Insta. It was like, I'm going on a colour walk and I'm gonna look for everything that I can see that's yellow. It sounds kind of like stupid, and I don't know like whether you think it's like a good use of time or not, but I think it's a mindful use of time. I think just being present in the moment is really beneficial, and It just stops you from reaching for your phone. And then the final one that I've put is memory lists. So thinking of all of the capitals of all of the European countries. When I was like younger, when I was a teenager, I had this obsession with flags and capitals, and I was obsessed with learning the capital of every single country in Europe and all of their flags. And it was like my party trick. I would be like, test me on the capitals, test me on the capitals. And someone would be like, what's the capital of like Belarus? And I'd be like, Minsk. And it was just like a whole thing. So now it's some time has passed, and I just like to kind of keep up with my knowledge and, you know, remember. Okay, so I'm sure there's a lot more ideas. So if you do have more ideas, please feel free to share in the comments. It's gonna benefit everyone here, including myself. So the second trigger then is the boredom or downtime. So like I mentioned before, it's those times when you actually do have free time, but you didn't make a plan for how you were going to spend that free time, and so you just reach for your phone or the remote. So in my head, I'm kind of thinking of this time as being like after work, because I think it's different on the weekend. On the weekend you have more time to do, more time to spend on things. But I've wrote down these things as being something that you could do in like an hour or something. Just kind of chilled, relaxed. You don't want to be like too wired or too busy just before bed. So the first one that I've put is calligraphy. I know that one of my friends has mentioned that she's interested in maybe trying this, and I think it would be really nice. It's kind of useful as well. You can use it for like writing cards or stationery, maybe for like your journaling as well, like if you're into like journaling and stuff. It's helpful, and also I imagine it to be really relaxing and mindful as well. But is colouring books. Personally, I don't enjoy colouring books because I'm really bad at it and I'm not good at staying in the lines. I have like a shaky hand problem, so I don't really enjoy it, but I know that my mum really enjoys it, so it's something that's really easy to just dip in and out of. There's a colouring book that I really want at the moment, and it's like a Studio Ghibli one, and I can't get it here in Turkey, but I really want it. It looks so cute, and I think that it would actually convince me to start doing this hobby. The next one that I put was knitting or crochet. So I kind of mentioned that one before as well. But basically anything like with yarns or like thread. So you don't even really need to like make something at the end. I think that's a whole other thing as well. Like none of these hobby ideas, you don't have to be good at it, and you don't have to, I don't know, sell it at the end. You don't have to share pictures of it. Like you can just do it and never show anyone. Like it's just to be mindful and just to be present. Also as well, embroidery, cross stitching, and the punch needle as well. So embroidery I tried and I enjoyed it, but because like, I don't know, my eyesight or something, I needed it to be in the daytime because it was such like a precise like activity, and I don't have like all the equipment and stuff. So the cross stitch is a lot easier because it's just basically doing the same stitch over and over, so it doesn't really require as much precision and patience, so I really enjoy that. Also punch needle as well. This is something that I recently tried. I bought like a little kit from Flying Tiger, and it's so easy and it's kind of fast as well. So if you're somebody that really is quite impatient and you just want to see the results straight away, like it is kind of a lot quicker than say like embroidery or cross stitch. Jewelry making as well. When I was a kid, I really enjoyed the jewelry making. There was a trend when I was younger, it was like Scoobies. It was basically like knitting but with like plastic things. Jigsaw puzzles. I love jigsaw puzzles so much. I feel like they are the best thing ever. The amount of, it's probably like my number one recommendation. I think it's honestly, it's like therapy. Like it's so mindful. I have like a whole day, 2 days has just like passed by, and like not a single thought has entered my head, and it's like the closest I've felt to just like pure peace is when I'm doing a jigsaw puzzle. Getting a box of pieces, and then step one is like trying to find all the corner pieces and just looking at all the pieces. You can put like a podcast on in the background or listen to some like music. I'll have like themes sometimes. I'll listen to like 80s music, 90s music, and I'll like sing along while I'm like looking for the puzzle pieces. It's just like so chilled, so nice, and honestly like one of my favorite ways to spend my free time. The next one that I put is model building or painting. So I do model building sometimes. There's these sets that I buy called row life sets, and all of it's kind of like, I guess, like Lego, but it's more like detailed. It comes in like a kit with all of the little pieces, and then basically what you do with the tools is you like take out the little pieces and you kind of stick them together with like glue, and you have everything that you need in the kit, so you don't need to like buy like tons of extra things, and you definitely don't need a lot of skill as well, because I don't have any skill, and I was able to build like a little cute coffee shop thing, and it was so cute. They do take some time, so you can just build a little bit every night. You can build like a little chair or like a little plant, or you know, the window or something, and then over time eventually you have this like little cute house which you can display like, you know, somewhere in your house. It's so cute. I really enjoy them, and again I feel like they're really mindful and relaxing. The next one I've put is cozy video games. I love video games. Recently there's been like this huge growth in like this cozy game vibe thing. The games that I really loved and I really just felt so much joy playing were games like The Sims, Animal Crossing. They were just so chilled, and afterwards I feel calm. I think it has to be cozy video games. The point is that we want to spend this time in like a calm and like a mindful way. And I think playing the kind of adrenaline generating games kind of has that opposite effect, and they can be quite like addictive. If it's just like a game like Animal Crossing, you can just do little errands and stuff, like, I don't know, picking up the shells on the beach, or like planting a tree, or picking the weeds, whatever it may be. It's just really chilled and cozy and mindful as well. The next one I've put is origami. This is something that I really want to try. I feel like I love origami shapes. They look so cute. But I never tried it before, but I imagine it to be, again, just really relaxing. The next one that I've put is Lego sets. Lego is, again, it's kind of like the jigsaw puzzles slash model building. It's so relaxing and chilling. You just kind of focus on the instructions, on like following like the next step. And my husband for Christmas bought me a Glinda and Alphabet like set thing for Lego, and I spent Christmas Day basically building them, and it was so chilled. I just listened to the Wicked soundtrack and singing along. So yeah, so they are my hobby ideas for idle or waiting time, and also boredom and downtime as well. I am going to make a part 2 because I think this video is going to end up being quite long, and also I really need to go to school, so I'm going to have to stop it here. But hopefully you've already got some good ideas of how you can start to replace those phone habits. Just make a little plan. So go through the triggers that you've already wrote down in your book, and just get your pen and just kind of make an idea of how you're going to replace that. So for example, when I first wake up in the morning and I reach for my phone because I'm not quite ready to get up yet and I don't really know what to do, what can I do? Okay, I'm going to sit in bed and I'm going to make a list of 5 things that I'm grateful for, and then after I've done that, I'm going to be ready to get up. Okay, so while I'm waiting to get on my train, there's a 5-minute waiting time. What am I gonna do? Okay, well, with me today I've brought my book, I brought my notebook, I brought my crossword. I'm gonna do my crosswords today, and just kind of go into the day with a plan of how you are gonna fill all of those moments where you previously would have just reached for your phone. And hopefully you should generally start to see that your phone time starts decreasing, but also that you feel more calm and more mindful as well, because that is kind of the main goal. So I will continue with my list of hobbies and my list of activities in part 2 of this video. If you did find it helpful, I would really appreciate if you could like, comment, subscribe. It would mean a lot to me. So that's all from me. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you soon. Bye.